what suggestions do you have for people who are looking at ISB? Somebody comes over and says, what tips do you have? What things do you, should I be telling people if somebody says, hey, I'm interested in ISB, blank, and I want to get,
Okay.
what suggestions do you have for somebody who's really keen on getting into ISB?
Okay. So a couple of things, right? And I'm assuming this is the pre-admit process that we were talking about at this stage.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the first thing is you should have one spike in your profile or one standout section in your profile, right? So what they say is like, you can, so there are basically your resume or your profile is three sections. It's work-ex, it's academics, and it's your extracurriculars, right? So you should have one spike in the three. And either you have stellar work-ex, either you have excellent academics, or you have rockstar extracurriculars. So that is the first thing. And what I would also recommend people is that, don't get intimidated by this word spike or having or being stellar. I would actually encourage people to think about it really hard. I'm sure every one of us has done amazing things. And it's just about reflecting and getting them out. And that's where I remember you really helped me because, when I started my MBA journey, I was like, look at these people, man. I mean, they've done amazing work and they've gotten into MBAs. And how do I even stand a chance? But then you actually helped me reflect and you taught me that, everybody has stellar stories. It's just about, bringing them out. So I think that's my first recommendation to people that think about that one spike. The second one would be again, and this is just me, but I'm somebody who believes in covering your bases really well. So I would suggest prep well for your GMAT. Like a good score is not everything to get an admit, but it does indicate your academic ability. I mean, it's a proxy. So I didn't have great grades in my 10th and 12th. So for me, this was a proxy of, showing that I'm probably as good enough as the rest of the applicants that you're getting.
Okay. Yeah.
The third thing was that really, really spend time on your essays and resume. Like this is basically your sales pitch. It should be crisp. It should be differentiating. And that is actually your non-verbal ticket to the admit. So anybody who reads your essays and resumes, and most of the time it's actually students who's reading these. So, and we review 30, 40 applications in a day. So you really, really need to be extremely standout and extremely crisp. So I think that art is, you should spend probably the bulk of your time on this.
Okay.
And then the last thing is about, the verbal part of it, which is the interviews. So never go cold into an interview. Like always have mocks. I remember we had 2 mocks. I had my friends do a few mocks with me. I had a few mocks done by alums. So like even before I literally went into my first interview, I was like 7 interviews down. So I think those are the 4 tips which I would recommend to anybody who's thinking about an MBA from ISB.